Hello everyone, and welcome to the messy junk room where we create whatever. Today I wanted to walk you through my junky junk journal, made out of junk, stuff that I found when I was at Muskoka Woods back in July. We took a group of students and leaders from St Thomas Youth for Christ to Muskoka Woods, a resort for kids. It's a beautiful, beautiful place, and the camp is huge, and there are a lot of youth. Well, our group kind of sticks to itself, and Muskoka Woods provides two of their leaders, and they do the activities with the students. It's a very busy, active week, but a lot of fun for the kids. I wanted to make a junk journal about that week in Muskoka Woods. I wanted it to be made out of junk. So yes, I went into the garbage recycling bin because kids were throwing stuff out. If they went to the tuck shop, I would take their tags. So whatever I could find, I used. Rosseau is just a little 4-corner stop, just 3 minutes down the highway from the camp. And I went in a couple of times with a couple of different leaders to get some things. And there was an antique store. A shout out to Muskoka Woods. This camp is provided through their foundation, and so our kids don't have to pay, our leaders don't have to pay to go to this resort for kids. It's beautiful. They feed us really well, and the activities are amazing. I didn't complete this junk journal until the following week when I went up to Sault Ste. Marie to my mom and dad's cottage, and I only took the junk that I found and a few tools. Before we get into that, I'm just going to pull out from this box of mini scripture cards, Bible verses to encourage and inspire us. So just pull one out here and we'll see what it has to say today. Charm is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman who fears the Lord, she shall be praised. There's some food for thought. This is my junky junk Muskoka Woods junk journal. Used my 3-year diary to jot things down. Now this is an amazing journal. It has 3 years on one page, and it's the weather. What was the weather like? How were you feeling that day? A project for the day, highlight of the day, and a thought for the day. We arrived on the 16th this year. Last year we arrived on the 17th. So it's neat to see what each year you were doing. On Sunday we arrived at Muskoka Woods, and I would just jot things down, what the weather was like and all of that sort of thing. And then I had it ready for when I made this junk journal when I was up at my mom and dad's cottage, which was the following week. I made a dangle. One of the things we took for the youth to do was beading, making bracelets. They love making this kind of bracelet last year. We thought, well, maybe they'll like to do it again. We took the supplies for that and we added beads this year. Students made me some of these bracelets. I turned them into a dangle. I forgot to take something warm, and I had to borrow one of the students' hoodie. I eventually had to buy my own hoodie. And if the kids went to the tuck shop and bought things, I would take their tags. This was the bracelet that we all wore. We were white. That identified us as a group, the Youth for Christ group. And on here was $50 for each person for the tuck shop for the week. Thank you Muskoka Woods. and the foundation for raising the funds so that none of us, leaders included, had to pay a cent to be at Muskoka Woods Resort for Kids. It runs like a well-oiled machine, and we are just grateful and blessed that every year we get to take some of our students there for a life-changing experience. I will link their website. Check it out. Commodity is a game, and I can't explain it. It's complicated to me. All I know is it's very popular at Muskoka Woods, and there's one evening a week where camp-wide the youth come together and play this game, and they get a bracelet. Well, we had extras this year, so I grabbed some, and I made my closure, just tying them all together. And it's my favorite color, so that didn't hurt either. When we go on a trip, whether it's to our bi-monthly mandatory staff meetings or a trip to Muskoka Woods, or we're traveling for something else, it is a must to stop at Starbucks. I can't afford it on a regular basis, but it is a sweet treat when we go somewhere. I kept the coffee sleeve, of course, and my picture there will be tucked in there. These words I thought applied to our week really well, and they came out of all of the free tourist pamphlet things that I grabbed while I was in Rosseau, with a general store, an antique store, a liquor store, a used bookstore, and I think there's a little clothing store. I went in twice that week with different leaders, found the antique shop, and the freebies. These are the words that I cut out. Beautiful. Muskoka Woods is beautiful. Antiques, because I found, some antiques. Relax. I had a very relaxing week being in the lodge. Lots of learning taking place. We're there because of Jesus, and we are grateful that we can share our faith experiences, exploring, challenge. Some of the events were very challenging for our youth. They conquered fears like the fear of height. Challenging week because there's a lot of homesickness, but at the same time it was a lot of fun and some great food. This is a sticker from the tuck shop, and then the paper behind at the antique shop I found some old stamp books, and so you will see some of those pages throughout. 2023, are you ready? This is made out of a brown paper bag that my fellow colleague got when he got all the s'mores stuff for our campfires, and he was gonna throw this out. I snagged it out of his hands before he could even walk to the garbage. Brown paper bag, that's what's made out of. This year, when we arrived, the Muskoka Woods staff had written each of our names on a large envelope and tacked it to the wall. And for the leaders, they had a card. This is Muskoka Woods Boathouse. They had a card in here and a note to each of the leaders. Sherry, be devoted to one another in love. Honor one another above yourselves. Romans 12:10. And I thought that was really neat. And then we were encouraged to write notes to each other, one another, encouraging each other through the week. And I saw students doing that, which was really, really fun. And then at the end, we got to keep our envelope and everything that was in it. This is the kind of pamphlet free tourist stuff that the general store had, and so I grabbed up a couple of the maps and that used for paper, and then some of the words and this little picture. And here's our s'mores kit. It was a square box, so I had lots of stuff that I could use from there. And then I would just rip up the other map and use it down the sides. And then I just wrote. Just arrived on the 16th. There's 20 of us. Starbucks. Loretta and I traveled to Muskoka Woods. So here's my pile of pictures that I'm going to be putting in. These are pictures that I can use on YouTube. And then I have a stack of pictures that are here that I can't use because they're the students doing their activities. Don't want to use any of those, but I'll put them in later. Muskoka Woods, that's a sign when you arrive. I was able to get that. And then Loretta and I traveled together. So we went by caravan. So there's 4 vehicles. And we were having so much fun chatting. She drove. We were chatting away that we missed the turnoff. And 1 minute we're following 3 vehicles. And the next minute, where did everybody go? But we arrived around the same time. So we just took the scenic route. And it was great fun. We took some of these bracelet craft kits, and I just snagged the tag. We settled in, we went for supper, then there was a swim test for everyone, and even walking down to the beach area, so beautiful. I was in a lot of pain. I knew that I would be at the lodge for sure for everything except the meal times. But I was on for the evening devotions every night at 10, and we looked at the book of Jonah, and we took a chapter a night while we were there, and I just loved telling the Bible story. The kids loved their chips. There was lots of chip bags. This is coming off, so the glue didn't stick. I'm going to fix that with some thread. Again, just a tag, leftover bracelet. And then inside, oh look, a little tag. So I could journal on it. I might put, oh look, picture of Kyle fits on there really good. Let's do that. That's a perfect fit. A proud moment with the axe throwing activity. Bullseye. We also discovered that the theme of Muskoka Woods for this year was Dream Big. We have a whole group picture under this Dream Big cloud, and then there's me under it. And I matched the letters that day. So I might stick that there. I can maybe stick these ones there. Perfect. Are you ready to soar to new heights? Thought that was appropriate. Just a tag of some of the map. Belly band. Now in our lodge, there were our schedules posted. So our group was put into 2 groups, so split in half. Group 1, group 2. Original. This was the time our meals were served. And then there was 2 schedules. It's so tiny. But some of the activities were ropes, creative arts, swim, tennis, paintball, ball hockey, kayaking, basketball, wake sports, swimming, baking, and the Crackum. That's the huge water slide that was very popular. So I might stick those back in there. This is the general store in Rosseau. That's what it looks like. Cute little store. And then I used one of the envelopes that I found at the antique store. Another sticker. And another. What picture can I put on the back of this one? Let's see. Need an up and down one. Oh, that's too big. I can put the campfire. I just printed the pictures on cardstock. So I can tuck that back in there. One of the old envelopes. tuck shop, and some of the kids got swag. And then I kept everything, every piece of junk. I raided the recycling bin a few times. I will put these guys on here. Kyle and Jeremy, two of our leaders. Kyle being my colleague, and Goose, as he's called by the kids, is one of our volunteers. So just tuck that there. And then the first night we were there, we had to list some goals for the week. So these were my goals, and I'm happy to say that I accomplished them. And then this, one of the girls was just doodling and she put it in the garbage. So I snagged that. This again is just left over from the bracelet. I just stapled in. So the days were filled with activities. I mentioned them: paintball, sailing, skateboarding, axe throwing, tubing, baking, swimming, high ropes, etc. The Kraken. So it was fun listening to them as they came in and out of the lodge between activities. Loved getting the campfires started in the evening and listening to them laugh and carry on as only teenagers can do. Like Gravenhurst, Bracebridge, it's all along in the Muskoka area. Lots of things to do and see. Kyle and I went into Rosseau, and I just put it smaller than Embro as a frame of reference for myself to pick up the stuff for s'mores. And of course, the antique store was open this year, so I picked up a whole lot of postage stamps and old envelopes and magazines and some really old stamp books. And the general store had lots of these free tourist type of things. My days as lodge mama were filled with morning time with God and the Bible. In the afternoon, I spent time junk journaling. I took a suitcase of stuff because I had a couple of junk journals to make. And I found myself yearning to sit by the water. This longing had me asking Scott if we could go to the Sioux to camp. I was on empty and I needed to be filled up before I headed into a very busy fall program season. I texted him on the Monday, and then Thursday he finally said, yes, we can go. Got home Friday night, washed clothes and repacked Saturday, and away we went up to the Sioux, where I actually put this together, and I took very, very little. Here's one of those old stamp book pages. This was a postcard from the tuck shop that I just put in here. Love the big Muskoka chairs. So we've talked about campfires. I was pretty proud of this one because I started it myself and kept it going. S'mores. Kids had a lot of fun. This is paper towel from the bathroom. Yes, paper towel from the bathroom. Another tag from the tuck shop. And this was from one of the tourist things. And that's true. Muskoka's incredible. I just backed that. And then somebody left me a note in my envelope. Thank you for leading devotions. That was very thoughtful. And then I had taken some of my own candy, specifically almond chocolates, with me, and I used the packaging. And this was a sticker as well. And that's what I longed for, to sit by the water. And then I just backed it in case I wanted to write a note. So every night at 10, we gathered around to learn about Jonah. And I had props, including me. And we read directly from the pages of scripture. At the end, I had this handout that I handed out to remind them about Jonah. This just represents the big fish that swallowed Jonah. And that was just a picture on one of the tourist pamphlets on the other side of my chocolate. Here is Rosseau, and we were like right in here. So that was our lake. That's the area where we were. Again, paper towel. Look at this, Fairy Lake. I love maps. Huntsville, an old envelope from 1936 that I put in there. Just a piece of the bracelet. Again, just using up all the junk. Fayetteville. It was a great week with a great group of youth and leaders. Friendships were made, lives were changed, memories that will last a lifetime. Have fun. So I just made another little fun thing at the top and used one of the bracelets made, a tag from the shop, the doodle page, and of course I had some tea on the way home. This is one of those old envelopes. Packaging. Oh, more packaging. We need to get some of these pictures on here. So there's a picture of what our lodge looked like. So the center of it was where the sitting area was, in the little kitchenette where we all could gather, and then the girls' side and the guys' side, huge Muskoka chairs, and our campfire. This was just water activity, the high ropes. This is our volunteer Beth, volunteer Nick, and then this was the water floating thing. I have no idea what to call it. Oh, but let's see. Maybe can I get 2 on here? Really want to use this. Oh, I wonder, does it fit? If I cut it down, it does. Okay, let's just trim it. And look at that, it does. Fits beautiful. Perfect. Love it. Oh, that worked out really good. And then I can cover this up. Oh, we had Chinese one night in the dining hall, and this was in the fortune cookie. Keep your ideas flexible and don't ignore the details. Here's the antique postcard, another little note. I loved your Jonah lessons and truly feel it broke through to the kids and really connected with them. Thanks for being our lodge mama and checking in on me each day. So glad you did end up with us this week, because I wasn't gonna be going. That's Muskoka staff signing the card. And then another envelope. That's from one of the pop cans, energy drinks that the kids suck back. And I just turned it into a pocket for pictures. And that is the Muskoka Woods junk journal. I have to continue putting in the pictures of the youth and their activities and a few other ones. But this is truly a junky junk journal. Have a great day, everybody.